He is the UFC bantamweight champion of the world and one of the stars of the new documentary series Fight Inc. Inside the UFC, streaming exclusively on Roku starting on Friday, June 7th. Sugar Sean, how are you?
Can't complain. I cannot complain.
So obviously, lots going on. There's never a slow time in your world. Obviously, this new documentary series is coming out, and a big episode focuses on you. Have you had a chance to see it yet?
No, I actually have not watched it.
So now, are you okay? So this thing takes a pretty big journey from your start, literally before the UFC, all the way through winning the title. And a lot of the story I knew. Yeah, I knew a lot of the story. We've done interviews before. I'm pretty familiar with your career. But one thing that I found fascinating about you, and I think you've talked about this a little bit in the past, everything that's happened to you thus far has been by design. There's been no accident. You've designed this from the start, from, obviously developing a fan base, growing a fan base, becoming a top fighter, becoming a star, and obviously becoming a champion. Do you feel like that's a big part of what has separated you from a lot of other guys in the UFC? Is this was always your plan?
Yeah, I think that's very underutilized, I guess you could say. Is like I think a lot of these guys, like, you have to want to be a superstar. There's very few people that accidentally become superstars. You gotta kind of want it. You gotta, have a little bit of a plan, and obviously you got to put in the work. And I feel like, I did all those things. I wanted it. I put in the work, and I made it happen.
Do you feel like that's something when you hear other fighters say, man, why aren't they promoting me? Why am I not getting this? Why am I not getting that? Do you feel like that's a big part of what you've done is you were out hustling? You went out and, sought out sponsors. You went out and sought out social media. You did a lot of different things to build your career beyond just fighting in the cage.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of boring fighters too. Like, I think the reason I have opportunities for sponsors or social media comes down to putting on good performances, knocking people out, and getting people excited for fights and wanting to tune in. I think that's that's where it all starts, is just putting on good performances.
Yeah. Now, I know you've talked a lot in the past about what an influence coming into the UFC a guy like Conor McGregor was. And one of the things that, you actually studied him a little bit in terms of learning, how he kind of built himself, and you kind of, modeled a little bit of what you did early on after that. And obviously you built your own stardom now. Obviously, we all know what happened a couple weeks ago with Conor. Where are you at with Conor? Have you talked to Conor? Like, where are you guys at now? Because I know he said some stuff on Twitter, and then he went on, did a live stream, and kind of said, "I like Sean, no bet, no hard feelings." Where are you at with Conor right now?
Yeah, no, I jokingly on my podcast said we talked, we're good now. I haven't talked to him since. I'll forever be a massive Conor fan, like the biggest fan of. Watched his career played out, watched every single interview possible. Like, I've learned a ton from him. He's a legend. That's it. Nothing, it is what it is.
You said on the Timbo Sugar show, you said, I tried hating him and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I tried. I was like, fuck Conor, but it did, it's like, it is what it is. He said, I think he realized what he said was just stupid, and I don't know why he tried putting me and Ryan Garcia in the same category, saying Ryan Garcia missed weight, and it made him mad about me. I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. So I think he kind of realized what he said was stupid, and then just backed himself into a corner.
Yeah, and obviously when he said that on the live stream, he said good things about you at that point. So at this point, would you say there's no ill will, no bad feelings towards him?
He also said, let's take the gloves off and fight, bitch. I'm pretty sure. So it is. I mean, it is what it is. I wouldn't turn down a Conor fight.
Yeah. What about the Chandler fight? Are you still predicted Chandler to go for the knockout? Because I know you're pretty emphatic about that.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, it's hard for me not to. If Conor goes out there and knocks him out, it would be wild. It would just build another big Conor fight, and the more Conor fights, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. So now to that point, obviously your own career, Sean, we all think we know what's coming up next. Obviously the Merab Dvalishvili fight that's been on the horizon ever since you beat Chito Vera. Where are we at? Like, we keep hearing all the rumors, we keep hearing all the talk. Where are we at now with the Merab fight?
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen this year, and I don't have a date for you guys. Unfortunately, UFC told me that at the end of the month they'll have a date for me. So I'm guessing. I'm hoping the Spear still. I've been pushing for that for a while. But if not the Sphere, December in Vegas. Either one, I do think it'll be in Vegas. It's one of those 2 dates.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the Sphere is going to be a massive, massive card. I know they are kind of building that a little bit around the Mexican Independence Day, but obviously, that's going to be such a huge, I mean, Dana's talked a lot about how big that card's going to be. December, the year-end card's not a bad way to go either, but can I assume you'd rather fight sooner than later?
Yeah, of course. I'd rather fight. Spit, you can come in. I'd rather fight, September than December, but also, whatever UFC says, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. You never really slow down in all the things you're doing and all the things you're building. When you have a fight like this on the horizon, how much do you even think about it at this point? Because you don't have a date. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have an exact date. So I assume you're not like in the throes of training camp right now. So like, how much are you even thinking about Merab? Or will you really think about Merab once you get the date of the fight?
I mean, we've been training specifically kind of like for Merab since the Cheeto fight. Like, that's next. And, I'm training hard right now, prepared for whatever. But we're 14 weeks out from the Sphere, so I'm not training. I'm not like full camp. But once end of month, if that's the date, I'll get right into camp. But I won't know until end of June. So.
Yeah, you're going to answer some version of this question probably 1,000 times between now and then, but I got to ask it because it is a legit question. You fought Peter Yan, former champion. Obviously, you fought Aljamain, you knocked him out. You fought Chito Vera, pretty dominant. Obviously, very dominant. I would say pretty dominant, very dominant performance there. Where would you rank Merab in terms of like your toughest opponents? Is he at the top? Is he as good as Aljamain? Like, where would you rank him in terms of your toughest matchups?
Yeah, he's up there. He's definitely up there with. Again, I think Aljo was the toughest to fight division for me in the division for me, but 100% Merab's up there. He's very dangerous. He's got a good gas tank. He's hard to finish. That's a very dangerous combination. So we'll see. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, obviously your focus is going to be on Merab in that fight later this year. We know they did book another bantamweight fight in August in Abu Dhabi with Cory Sandhagen and Umar Nurmagomedov. I know they've called that a number one contender fight. Now, you and I, Sean, you and I both know they say a lot of things are number one contender fights. Doesn't end up being that way. But can I ask your opinion on that fight? And can I imagine you'll have at least a little bit of an eye on the winner of that one, just because it's going to happen before you and Merab fight?
Yeah, I'll tune in if it happens. We know Umar likes to pull out. Something happens, so I'll be surprised if the fight happens. I'm surprised Cory's such a massive underdog. I think Cory's one of the most skilled guys in the entire UFC. So I wouldn't be surprised if Cory beat him at all.
If it actually happens, do you lean that way? Do you lean Cory's way in terms of who you'd pick?
Yeah.
Are we overrating Umar a little bit? Like, are we overrating him in terms of name value, or?
No, I think Umar's as good as everyone thinks he is. I just think Cory's better.
Yeah, I know Cory said this many times. I know a lot of people have said this. You and Cory would be a really fun fight. Like, let's be honest, that would be a really, really fun fight. You and Cory would be a banger.
I agree.
You talked a lot about, long-term goals, and I'll kind of close out on this, Sean. Obviously, again, you're focused on your title defense, Merab Dvalishvili. But when you look at the lay of the land, we've seen this now with, Leon Edwards has talked about it. We've seen Islam talk about it. We've seen Alex used to talk about it. Ilya's talking about it. Like, in terms of your goals, like, is it, defend until there's no one left at bantamweight, or do you feel like there's a finite number on guys who interest you before you do take that stab at featherweight?
I'm here for the people. I thought me moving up to fight Ilya would get people excited, and Ilya's, in my opinion, way more dangerous than Merab. So I was pumped when people were like, "No, fight Merab. We don't want to see fight Ilya." I'm like, "Hell yeah! All right, bet. I'll fight Merab over Ilya for sure." I'm here for the people. They want to see me double champ. Let's do it. They want to see me defend. Let's do it. Isaiah's here. Let me see that, Lynn.
Do you think Ilya beats Max Holloway?
Ooh, I don't know about that.
It's a good fight.
That's a very exciting fight. I would be very pumped if that fight happens.
Well, Sean, I appreciate you carving out a little bit of time and how busy you are, man. Obviously, I appreciate. Obviously, the new documentary drops Friday, June 7th, Fight Inc. on Roku. Thank you for taking some time for me, man. Obviously, hopefully, we'll hear about this fight announcement soon, and we'll be ready to rock and roll and watch the Sugar Show do its thing once again.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Peace.